Last month, the Sue Gray report into Downing Street parties was spiked in case it prejudiced a police investigation. It was a suspicious move, especially as the police didn't explain how releasing the report would prejudice anything. There was one half-decent explanation I heard at the time, though. It was that if Sue Gray published her report, those under investigation would be able to craft their answers to be consistent with whatever she found. And by keeping the report secret, they wouldn't be able to do so. That already tenuous justification has now been blown completely out of the water. ITV's Paul Brand has revealed that number 10 staff, including the Prime Minister, will be able to see interview notes Sue Gray's team made about them before they fill out their police questionnaires. In a letter to Downing Street staff, Sue Gray wrote, "I appreciate that this is a worrying time for those affected by this process, which I do not wish to compound. In light of particular circumstances surrounding this set of events, I have, as an exceptional measure, decided that individuals may be provided with limited access to the notes." She also admits this is not a standard practice, saying the focus for individuals should be on completing the police questionnaire within the timeline given. Access to notes from previous interviews are not necessary to do this, nor is it standard practice in internal investigations such as this to share or agree such notes with interviewees. So if it's not necessary to show these people notes from the report before they answer the police questions, and if it's not standard practice, why is she doing it? If the whole point was the Sue Gray report couldn't be released in case it prejudiced the investigation by showing, the people under investigation by the police what to say and what not to say. Obviously, if it's not in the Sue Gray report, they go, well, I'm not going to admit that to the police, am I? They don't want to contradict what's in her report because then they can get into even more trouble. So while no one else can see the Sue Gray report, the only people who can see it are the people for whom seeing it might prejudice the investigation.
Yeah, the only state agency that normally is allowed to do that is cops, and it's normally evidence of them being bent. They're not meant to, but often they'll see the notes of colleagues, before they write their own, so they have stories which align relating to a certain event. From what I gather, they're not meant to, but they do. And it tends to be an indicator of corruption. So, this is a bit different. This is kind of a twist on that. But you think Sue Gray should have a PR person, Michael? She's a civil servant. This isn't Ash Sarkar. Not everybody has an agent, Michael. I think you've got all this fame is getting to your head.
I'm sure with all her fame, she must have someone doing, comms. Someone leaked this to ITV, so there are presumably some people who are unhappy about this. I do have one theory as to why this might be happening, which is that I reckon she let Boris Johnson see it. So she let Boris Johnson see the notes so he could craft his, this is all complete speculation, by the way, so that he could craft his answers. And then she was worried that one of the, someone else in Downing Street would be pissed off about this. Like, why did Boris Johnson get to see the notes, but I didn't get to see the notes? And now she's sent this email saying, it's kind of weird for me to send you the notes, but I'm going to do it anyway. And she hoped that would keep them all quiet because it was in their interest to see the notes before they went to the police. I feel like that could potentially be the sequence of events, although obviously that's not a justification for it. That's just an explanation of what she might be thinking here.
Who's going to call it out? Lib Dems? Keir Starmer certainly isn't. Mr. Vicks Vapor Rub. He's not.
Well, he loves calling out this kind of stuff. This is his bread and butter. He loves this.
A civil servant. He's going to call a civil servant bent. Okay. Really?
Sorry, no, you're right. You're right. No, you're right. I take your point. He will only call out someone who is an elected Tory politician. The moment it's the establishment, the moment it's the civil service, the moment it's the Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, Starmer will not criticise them. Big flaw in his politics, which he's just sort of institutionally pro-establishment, emotionally pro-establishment. He can't bear to criticise what are supposed to be neutral bodies, but very clearly aren't.